I do think this is a much safer way because you're not going to get punished in lane, and then the Sivir with no Jarvan or anything like that feels pretty good here too. I'm a little bit less inclined to like the Kai'Sa.
I mean, it kind of fits. No, I don't like it either. I think the Sivir is
like, what do you follow with Kai'Sa in this draft?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, hang on.
You just lose the lane.
The
as well.
setup CC is like a cow.
The Kai'Sa is really going to struggle. I think the Sivir actually rounds us out really nicely though, because you have the Alistar front line, you have wave clear in both your Ryze side lane and then in your mid lanes to set up for objectives really well. I do think Hanwha Life Esports got the better draft here, to be honest. Now, they don't have a super strong front line, but Trundle can kind of become one to a certain extent for a brief period of time. And also the Alistar, of course, does exist.
A lot of fun. Flay does also make the Alistar's life a little bit difficult, but there's a headbutt pulp as level 2 is going to be gained. Still, Q damage value out of Ruler here with that Severum. Every secondary summoner spell just used immediately as Chovy now dealing with the Pillar of Filth with the flash forward from Zeka to answer the flash out of Chovy.
Is trading back effectively here. There's the teleport for Zeus.
Oh, this ward. Oh no, it just barely missed out. As now Chovy could be in trouble as well. He does get the Petrifying Gaze down. As now Canyon dives in on top of Guma, but he has a great spell shield.
Kanavi does not have vision.
He does have Smite. Canyon is just going to press Q and Smite together.
Yeah, the Q Smite, quite strong.
I mean, there's also a Trundle. That's the problem. There's a pulverized flash here out of Delight. Gets Duro into a good position, and Hook connects onto Zeka, but he is still here. That's going to be a kill delivered over to Gumayushi. First blood goes to the Sivir.
They'll get the grubs, surely.
Well, Equalizer goes down. Keen is dealing with all of these things that are coming on through, but the Ram is going to come down. There's the knock-up as well, as Keen should be able to help take this kill down, but the Scrap Shield is going to buy a little bit of time. Finally, Zeus does fall as Kanavi comes in and eats the On. Subjugate, pretty powerful. Killer placement was so good. As Ruler is dead, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to flash for some reason. Does have to grab it in the air. Does try. Oh my gosh! Yeah, does get the ward down. Moonlight Vigil comes on in, and Kanavi is just dead. Zeka finally makes his way forward, and the Aphelios will be taken down.
Ruler again?
Yeah, Ruler I think is just dead. He doesn't have any summoner spells. Kanavi makes his way down. The Lantern is almost blocked, but it doesn't quite work as now Delight, Unbreakable Will comes on through, and Keen will throw out the Ram to take down the cow. That is going to do it. It's a fight in the farmhouse as the Hook is going to be picked up here onto Kanavi, and he's able to walk it off. Chovy's teleported in, looking for an angle here as Zeus is on a ward. Gets poisoned there, and there is the exhaust down onto Canyon. They do manage to get the play back onto Delight, and he's just dead before the fight's even really started. It's the secure on the Dragon for Canyon as well as Keen comes in. Equalizer placement is gorgeous though. Zeus is going to pay for it with his life as the Twin Fangs, they do come in, and Duro's going to be taken down. Zeka looks for the kill, but Canyon, he gets himself out. Chovy has enough health bar, and he's able to just kite this one forward. They do not. They, in fact, have a negative lead. Some would call it a deficit. As it's also a Chemtech ult. I thought it was going to be an Infernal, but here's a train. There's the knock-up. Hook is going to connect, and they'll just chain CC Kanavi. He does get so much of his health bar back though. Moonlight Vigil, not quite enough, and there's the bottom lane biting the dust. They put too much into the Trundle, and he just lives. The King's tribute was paid, and Gumayushi for some reason died. And Kanavi does his shenanigans with the Rift Herald. That should spell the end of this outer turret in the mid lane.
Yeah,
2 for 1 in the end.
There. He took a ton of turret damage, but actually you didn't see how Ruler got the kill on him there.
Canyon may kill Zeus, and yes, he does.
This is a Dragon setup here for Genji that's very difficult to crack. Han will have no vision.
Yep. Ruler has so much range as well as Delight goes in once again, but his health bar is just missing. Gets the Pulverize onto Chovy though. That's the turn that they're looking for. But the cow is just going to go down. The Seraph Shield, massive here as Chovy's looking relatively safe. And Ruler is just terrifying. HLE now 4 versus 5, and Zeka is in the front line, not where he wants to be. As the Hook is going to go wide. Boomerang Blade also not finding the mark as Ruler finding himself in a very good position. That moonshot, my God.
completely cut Hanwha in half and make it so difficult for the fight to play out.
Yeah, and as soon as Gen.G is spread like that, the value of the Sivir just isn't as high, and now the value of the Sivir might be going away. She does have to flash. Good spell shield there from Gumayusi. I believe what the name was.
Guma has the highest damage in the game. See if that can continue as Duro.
Yeah, that is going to be Zeka getting flayed back. Does have the Ghost though, so he should be able to catch back up again. Good Bellows breath there from Keen, but he just searingly charges out of the way of the Lantern. He requires no Lantern.
Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, this is actually kind of crazy how much damage they'll be able to do.
Oh, Keen. Oh, just barely.
Attic.
Yep.
I don't know about this one, Hanwha. Very risky.
Yeah, they get the information here as Canyon's going to press that button. The train going to leave the station as well. As in goes the Pantheon. It's going to be a 50-50 as he can take the Lantern as well. He's into the pit, and there's the steal for Canyon. The hook goes wide yet again, but the cow is mincemeat, and Canyon's still alive for such a long time. Chovy stopping the retreat here as he's just slithering out the back of the pit, but that is still a couple of kills. Petrifying Gaze catches Guma. He does use the spell shield pretty well, but Zeka's so close to dead, and Ruler says good night to the rest of HLE, and probably sends them home from the LCK Cup.
It looks like HLE is not going to play in Atlas. That was the back-breaking moment, and it starts off again with Delight getting caught, not in this fight, but in the previous one, where he had to use his ultimate, so now he is just not durable. Look at how quickly he dies here, and the Baron is stolen. Delight's off on the other side trying to buy space here. And this fight is otherwise fairly decent here for Guma, right? Like, he has these low health bars, he's trying to whittle them down, he's trying to get in there. Look at how low Keen goes. But then Chovy just says, we didn't just steal a Baron, we won the game. Watch this.
Yeah. He saw that angle, and getting that one Twin Fang was almost enough for Guma. But then Ruler was still alive, so he's dead.
He was very happy about that.
Yep. Something was delicious, let's just say that. As HLE fans.
In tatters, man.
Absolutely. And now gives one to Chovy. Finally, okay, there's that upgraded Infinity Edge. We are going to see, okay, never mind. That is just, okay, just gets out. Sometimes you just press R and everything is A-okay. You just need to win. That's the main thing. Is Canyon, he was looking at the bottom lane. Did get interrupted, but still yeah.
Things have changed here.
Well, now the train is going to come on through. Maybe this is the last call, as there's the hook back. And the Trundle is just dead before he can do anything at all. Canyon takes the Lantern ride to get himself to safety. These ricochets.
Could get Hanwha the win in time. It could happen.
Yeah, Grand Starfall is actually not available as Canyon did manage to stop the back. The play is so good, though, to deny. Petrifying Gaze doesn't do the most work, but Keen gets to Gumayusi into the backline, but he does flash his way out. The problem is, though, his range is too low. It's a triple kill for Ruler, and Gumayusi cannot do anything by himself in this bottom lane with an angry Conductor looking to take him down. Breathe some fire. Look at that skin. Isn't it just fantastic? As Keen will be able to demonstrate it one more time in the POM view that we will get later on today.
I don't know. It's crazy. Keen got his first career Penta, and yet my vote finger still kind of gets drawn to the support vote again here.
Oh, and we have the dangerous double support English desk as well at the space. Oh dear, Ruler almost dies to that turret, but it's looking like that 3-0 that everyone was dreading. And HLE, this was their final game at the LCK Cup. Gen.G will send them home early and save the lives